What simple things man needs to be happy. And one of those things, of course, is a working remote control. I'm Andrew Armstrong, welcome to the back of his Teardown Lab, and we're going to be exploring the Humax RM-L08. And you're saying, why are we going to bother? Well, I'll show you why. If you've got one of these, it's actually a big problem because, see that's glowing red? Remote control is working great. Now when you get to these buttons, not quite. They become really glitchy. And that's because some of the buttons on this remote control actually use dome tops actuators rather than the normal carbon rubber interface that we're used to seeing. So the carbon rubber ones work fine, but all the metal ones don't. And that is super annoying. And it's a big problem with this particular brand of PVR. And people just chuck them away. I don't think they're a great PVR, by the way. I think they're just okay, but they've got an interesting feature in that they've got 4 tuners in them, believe it or not. 4 tuners. They can record 4 things at once if you're into that free play, free view play type stuff. So I'm just going to slide my spludger in here and see if we can get it spludged open. Oops, without doing too much damage, hopefully. Always a bit of risk when you're doing this, so be careful. These flat metal spludgers are pretty much the only tool that will do the job. But if you do slip, I think they could slice you, and you don't want to end up shanking yourself in the hand. Woohoo! We're in. Okay, so we have a nice flat PCB. Look at that, single-sided as well. I hope that's not going to be a problem. It'd be interesting to see how it's laid out. And this is also a pre-programmed learning type remote control as well, but it's all done on one teeny chip. We'll have a look at that in a moment. The contacts look fine, and I can see here you've got the carbon on these ones, and then here they're just little teeny domes that just push on these little metal caps here, so we can just actuate those. And what's weird is they sound fine. It's like as if there's something underneath them that's dirty. If we can peel that off and clean them, that would be great. But let's look at this chip. The mysterious chip there. So if you're playing along at home, oh my gosh, it's so small. I'm going to have to get in real close to try to read this guy. It's DC668FL64XT. That's what I'm seeing, but your mileage may vary. It's about as close as I can get it on the camera. It'll be interesting to see if we can remove this now. It's going to be touch and go. If we break this, it's going to be a big problem. One, because I can't change the channel and the TV's stuck on Fantastic Voyage. And two, our options to repair it are incredibly limited. So you can see, peeling there, that there's your metal dome. Trying to come away with that sticky layer. I think if we're careful with that sticky layer, we might be able to convince. Oh, it is. It's coming with it. My word! And I've seen kits of these. You can buy those as samples. And I always wondered if you got... Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Took the second one off there. If you got them as samples, could you, using sticky tape and other similar technologies, make your own or use them to repair things like this? Look at that. I'm being really cautious to try not to cause them to bend too much, but they... Okay. We have a little rip there. Oh, it's the numbers. Those pesky numbers. So I'm going to take it at a different angle. Okay, we're nearly there. And it was bad. It was so bad before. You don't really even need a television to try this on. You can just see it's not working. Good. Let's put this aside because this looks pretty normal. Let's try to see what's going on with these. I mean, first impressions, they look absolutely fine. You could hear them clicking in operation, but maybe they're just not making a contact. I mean, if we compare them to the area... So these are where the pads are. If we think of the OK button, which was the middle button, and I'm pretty sure it's that guy, doesn't have any wear on it at all. It just looks like those weren't making any contact at all. So I think we'll just clean it though. All we can do is clean it and put it back together. Got my trusty WD-40 Specialist Fast Drying Contact Cleaner. So we're in a rush. We need that to be super fast drying. I'm just going to attach that with the blue roll. We have to be a little bit careful because when we took that off, there was the ever so slight amount of adhesive there. And I can see here they have these carbon bridges. So although it's a single layer board, it is getting double layer functionality through these bridges. Look, I'll show you. See, it's like a jumper that jumps right across. So don't rub the board too much and rub them off. Otherwise, it's totally game over. Makes you wonder how much money they save doing that. It must be millions. I feel we need to do something to this sticky end now, so I'm going to spray a tiny touch on a ear cleaning thing. They always said that on this, didn't they? Do not press into the inner ear, or do not push into the inner ear. But I never really knew how deep your inner ear bit is. One wipe to clean, one wipe to polish. If you've got one of these and you notice it feeling sluggish, or it seems to feel sluggish, keep an eye on that red light. So what you'll notice is most of the time it's not registering the press, and then when it does register it, it registers like 10 at once, so your box goes mental. So it starts going on, off, on, off, on, off. You know, like you select YouTube and you're going, why is it deselecting it, selecting it, deselecting? It's like that pause function that used the auto fire circuit. Right, let's get this back on. Okay, we're zooming right out. Here we go. For the full experience. I don't want to touch anything where I shouldn't, but what's nice is it does have a handy little graphic, a graphic of where to put it. Where to put it on upside down, so that's handy. It was definitely there. Right. Whoa. There are holes here that actually do help. There are registration holes. I think if we can just get some of the far side ones registered. Oh, they're looking pretty registered. They are looking pretty registered to me. Let's press that down. Little mermaid with her sea braids. Christmas time, and My Little Mermaid still a thing? It's all about the unicorns. Let's get that back in the case. Okay. What? We'll have no trouble here. Ugh. Oh, there's no going back now. It's been de-spludged. It's time to reap the rewards. Let's turn off the light. We'll check the standard buttons. Yep, that's good. That's looking good. Don't know if you can quite see that. Look. Illuminate. Illuminate. The Netflix button's illuminating. That's a clicky one. On demand. So we're getting into the clicky areas now. Let's zoom out a bit so we can keep going. Oh. The OK. Oh my word. Look at that. That's all you have to do is merely dismantle it ever so carefully with a dangerous spludger on your hands. Try not to shiv your own fists. And then giving it a clear out with some specialist contact cleaner. That's all it takes. Why don't they just put that in the instructions, and then people wouldn't be taking these to the tip? As ever, thanks for watching.